shared this footage this evening. Here with more is Senator Markwayne Mullin. Senator, good to have you.
Thank you, Sean.
First of all, can we go to Kristi Noem? You know, you would think that maybe, CBS would have learned their lesson, maybe not edit out important details that she's putting into an interview. I guess the answer is you can only do a live interview on CBS and hope they don't cut that short either.
You know, we've learned that a long time ago with these liberal media outlets. If it's not live, you cannot trust them to edit it and do it right. And Kristi Noem, she's tough as nails. She's a good friend of mine and of the families, actually. And for them to edit her and then think that she's not going to come back swinging, they picked the wrong girl to mess with. And so the fact that MSNBC does this isn't surprising to you and I.
Well, this was
it's
CBS.
Just surprising that they still do, or CBS. It's surprising that they still do it.
You know, it's amazing. CBS once tried pretty hard to get me to be featured on 60 Minutes. A lot of people would like that, right? And I said, sure, I'd love to do the interview. Has to be live to tape. Because what they do is they'll tape you for 5 hours and end up building a narrative that they want and put in the pieces as they desire and create a story that can be completely false. Ted Koppel once did it in this very studio. Ted Koppel interviewed me for an hour, and then he goes, I think you're bad for America. And, okay, I give him my answer. All he has is, I think you're bad for America. Cut. And it's like a cheap fake video, or it's another way to a selective editing bias, if you will.
Well, look what they did with Kamala Harris's interview. I mean, you'd think they'd learned their lesson about editing after President Trump sued them and won. But at the same time, they don't. They got a narrative they draw. They're no longer reporting. That's why shows like CBS and they're reporting on politics, no one takes it serious anymore. That's why Fox exists, because you can actually get news here. You can actually understand what's happening in the world of politics instead of some biased narrative that CBS and these other left-wing media outlets continue to draw. And they prove themselves by constantly by showing hypocrisy like they do with Kristi Noem, and then they get called out on it. And what do they do? Nothing. They're going to do the exact same thing they did with Kamala Harris's editing during the presidential election, and they're going to continue to move this because they got left-wing radicals running that station now.
Let's talk about the legality and President Trump and what he's been able to do when it comes to safety and security in our nation's capital. Why wouldn't a governor like Pritzker want that help? Why wouldn't the mayor want that help? Why are they so adamantly against it? Why would any citizen that is living under those conditions not want President Trump to put a greater police presence to go after the bad people that are killing innocent people?
Because it's not about doing what's right for the American people. It's about their hatred towards President Trump. And isn't the irony so true that right now the mayor of D.C. she's come out and said, well, actually, it actually has helped. Crime is down in our state, or in our city. Today's our first day back, Congress's first day back in the city. And there's a huge difference. The city's cleaner. You're not seeing the protesting on the streets. You're not seeing the individuals that are running all over on motorbikes with no license plates, blowing through street lights. It's still in people's phones. The stuff that's happening with purse snatching on the metro. The crime is down in D.C., so why wouldn't other mayors want that? If you're in Chicago, why wouldn't you want the president's help? What he's done is successful, but it's not about the people of Chicago. It's about their hatred towards President Trump and not willing to work with him in any way because you can't go past your bias towards him.
All right, Senator Markwayne Mullin, we appreciate your time. Thank you. And up next tonight, right here on